Alright, welcome back to the Supercoach Enough channel. In this video, we're going to review round 25 of the 2025 NRL Supercoach season. And it was a bit of a disappointing week for us, only scoring a 12.09, which wasn't very good in terms of the round rank, and did see us drop about 2,000 spots. So made it quite hard for ourselves to get that top 20k finish that we were hoping for. So if we have a look at the team, excuse me, Harry Grant was our starting hooker, and 25 for him. So I was watching the Bulldogs Melbourne Storm game, but it was after our NFL fantasy draft, and there was a few beverages consumed, so I wasn't watching the game too closely. So not sure how that score came about, but I guess it is what it is. We have to move on. Kurt Donahue with 47 was a little bit underwhelming as well. Front rowers continued to be awesome. Payne Haas, Terrell May, 104 and 80 respectively. Nafahu White on the bench with just a 45, so a bit under his average. And Pasifiki Tonga actually outscoring him, so that's an interesting shout there. In the second row, pretty good results. Eli Qatar with an 81, Hudson Young with a 63, Preston with a 68. Unfortunately, we left out Tino, who crashed over, I'm pretty sure for a try. 101 points for him. So we obviously left a few points on the table there. Connor Watson with just the 35 continues to slide. Not ideal for us owners. Excuse me. In the halves, Cleary with the 54 wasn't viable as a VC. Isaiah Katoa with a 39 was a bit flat. Campbell was okay with a 60. But again, we pulled the wrong rein. KO Weeks scoring an 82. Centre wing, so our pod captaincy option, Zach Lomax, didn't pay off. 43 points for him. Adam Dewey, unfortunately, went off with concussion, so just a 7 for him. Jacob Kiraz was good, though, with a 90-point return. And Beau Fermor also quite good with 75. Once again, missed out on some points on the bench. Gagai with 56, outscored our captain. Karapani with 84 was fantastic as well. And even Fletcher Hunt with 41 would have outscored Adam Dewey. At fullback, Dylan Edwards was okay with 72. Tom Trbojevic, though, the hero of our team, with a 180. That's a prime turbo. So we thought we were getting him a bit cheaper in the centre wing next year, but that has boosted his average up to a 70. But I think he is still a lock at centre wing to start next year. And Tedesco was underwhelming also with just a 40. So unlucky for all those that captained him this week. Speaking of which, in the head-to-head matchups, the one I had left in the Supercoach Nuffs leagues, a narrow loss to Nacho, who was a Teddy captainer, but the difference was Ethan Strange with a 114 and Scotty Drinkwater with a 106, sort of covering Tommy Turbo there with the 180. Obviously, having to cop a 25 from Harry Grant didn't help my chances much at all. But in the main sort of part of the league, the Viking Warriors win through to the final with a 12.87. Thanks to Kiraz, Eli Katoa. Munster with a 79 was good. Wangani Tawase with 81 was decent. Payne Haas, Terrell May, and I've missed half of the players there. So another Drinkwater owner. Viliami Kikau with 91 was quite good too. So well done to Phil. And then the other semi-final, so the Drop Bears getting over the line against the Dragons at Lair. So Tom Fletcher as the auto emergency with 89. That is an epic get there, Stephen. Captain Drinkwater as well. So pretty much nailed it this week. Also had Payne Haas, Terrell May, Kiraz score well. But well done, mate, on getting through to the GF. You can see a couple of bigger scores in the other minor semi-final, but we'll see if there's any monsters. A couple of big ones, but 1505 for Serenity now tops it for the first league. So Captain Reese Walsh, so that's a massive captaincy shout. Tarpany with 108 was massive. Taylor May rather with a 123. That's another nice pod there. Had Drinkwater and Kiraz Katoa, Haas, Terrell May. So well done, Cameron. That is a fantastic score. In the second league, let's have a look. So inside out, getting a comfortable victory over Scrumbags United. So the captaincy again was the right call, but also played Tino, played Taylor May. So some big scores there for David. And in the second league, a probably bigger win there for Shake and Bake over Blitzkrieg with the VC on Tommy Turbo. Well done, legends. Had Tino, had Payne Haas, had Kiraz, a few 80s there as well. Great stuff, Cameron. But we'll see if there's anything higher than that. I guess a 1458 for the Boggabilla Sloths, Liam's team. So he just straight out captained Tommy Turbo. Well done. RTS with a 109 is a bit of a pod. Tarpany with a 108, fantastic. And then a few of the familiar faces there. In the third league, gone too far. But the Super Troopers, Scott's team qualifying with a 1427, thanks to Tommy Turbo, RTS, Tino, Payne Haas, Drinkwater, and Captain Teddy, and got a 1420. So that's a bit stiff, Scott, but that's still a great score. And well done to the Serena Sinners, 1295 is a decent score. And the Savage Bulldogs, Ibrahim's team, getting the win over Hull White Star. So just took the VC on Payne Haas. I like it, nice and safe. Joe Tarpany with 108. Kickow and Weeks were both good. Had Karapani in there as well, which was nice. But had Drinkwater covered. The Wangani Tuase, Kiraz, Katoa, etc. So a 1477 there for Crazy Rich Asian. Looks like that's the top score, so we'll have a look at David's team. So scroll up. So Tallis Duncan with 115. Thought he was playing in the centres, but must have just scored tries for fun. Big Tino with a 100. Captain Reese Walsh, which was nice. Haas and Drinkwater turning up also. So well done there, David. So I guess the finals this week, the grand finals, let's have a look. So I just went through all the teams there, but Phil and Stephen in the first league, good luck to you guys. David and Cameron in the second league, and Scott and Ibrahim in the third league. Just a quick shout out to the overall. So Liam, who I think that's moved up 62 spots into 130 thanks to a 1445 this week. Well done, mates. Looks like 100 and so points clear, but I guess it was probably a bit closer going into last week. Blitzkrieg sliding down a little bit. The Super Troopers moving up, so knocking on the door of the top 1,000, which is great. 1579 for Safari Zone. That's a monster. Let's just have a look at that. And he had Harry Grant as well. Wow. So Haas May, Duncan score. Sam Walker's 4. Surely that dropped out. So it must have been the captain or the fullback. So he had Walsh, Turbo, and Drinkwater. So all of the big hitters. Had Lehigh Hopewadi get a 160 as well. So well done, David. So I was only 635th for the round too. Wow, what was the top score this week? Let's have a bit of a look. An 1812. So back to back Gormsey. No wonder scoring this sort of stuff. So and he had Harry Grant as well. But must have had some good scores up back. So Walsh, Turbo, Drinkwater, took Turbo's VC, Lehigh, Taylor May, Giraz, all scoring awesome. Decent 5'8 scores. I had Tino as well, so the front row went massive. Well done, legend. Michael, number one for the week. I guess before we get stuck into my plans for this week, probably should give the draft a bit of a shout out. I did drop off a bit halfway through the year, um, and probably then also started to lose a bit of interest in my own team. But I think I've somehow managed to jag my way into a final. I don't know if it's this one. Negative. Where's the leagues? How do you get to the ladder? That's what I want. So we're in the Dynasty League here. So in the GF, it's going to be Burgolator, so Brendan's team, up against Shoab, who's come from fifth. So ran the gauntlet, including beating myself, but again, probably not too hard given how little attention I paid. But regardless, well done, gents. And in the redraft league that I set up, actually somehow managed to find my way into the final. And so I guess Sharp sort of doing it the long way. So well done, Sharp, for getting into both draft finals. As I said, I couldn't even pay attention to them. So the fact that you're in there uh, is why you're a legend of the game. So I might have to have a bit of a look at my draft team this week in that league. But I guess in terms of the Supercoach team, I'm still in the draft. I guess I'll play around with that later. But yeah, my team. Let's have a look. This week we've got, I think it's a Rabbits on bye. So it's really not an issue for me. I don't have any of them. But let's have a look at the team. So Melbourne against the Roosters. So does Harry bounce back this week? I think so. Kurt Donahue against the Titans, who have just given Desi the marching orders at the end of the season. So I think we'll keep him in as well. Hopefully he can jag a try. No worries here about these guys. Fahu White against the Storm. Do we think he'll bounce back this week? I mean, surely we've got to get Big Tino involved, averaging 70. But I mean, we could probably look elsewhere. I mean, it might have to be Donahue goes and Tino comes in. That's the smart play, surely. We don't want to get rid of these guys. I think these guys are all right. Although Saturday Arvo at GIL against the Tigers, maybe KO Weeks is a shout. Campbell on Sunday Arvo and Qatar on Sunday Arvo. Cleary against the Dogs on Thursday night. I don't think we could bench Cleary. That's crazy. We do need to bench Dewey though. I think with the concussion, yes, a Gagai against, who's he against? Oh, the Sharks. Ooh, tough. Do we go Karapani up in North Queensland? Don't know. Probably not. Thermal, Gagai. Yep. So those guys are all fine. So yeah, so we're definitely playing the three fullbacks. That's pretty crazy not to. So it's about four players for three bench spots. Donahue could be a fifth option as well. So what do we? Don't know. We'll definitely have a think about it, and we'll come back on Thursday, no doubt. But for now, I think we'll just leave it as is, and then captain, vice captain. So I guess Cleary against the Dogs. Hopefully, again as a Dogs fan, not going to do much, but better to be safe than sorry. And then the captaincy. Do we go the pod route again? Try to make up for the pod this week. And obviously coming off a 180, Tommy Turbo is interesting. Teddy to bounce back against the Storm, perhaps. I mean, could just play it safe with these guys. These guys. Terrell May, Payne Haas. Because yeah, Katoa would be an interesting one as a pod captain, but I can't captain, vice captain the halfbacks. Uh, I don't know. I'll have a bit more of a think about it, but I am somewhat leaning towards Turbo. Not expecting a 180, but maybe that has sparked something in him. I'll have to check it. If Manly's still in the running for the finals, then they could have a bit more to play for than the Dragons, and yeah, should be good. But we might just wrap the video up there. Otherwise, we'll sit here staring at it all day. Um, as always, any questions, comments, thoughts, feel free to add them below this video. Give us a like if you enjoy the Supercoach content. Subscribe for all the fantasy sports content on the channel. And other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.